All right, man, it's that time of year again, man. NBA 2K24 gameplay news. We got a gameplay, we got pro play, we got offense, defense, new takeovers. So make sure you sit tight. All right, first things first, adrenaline has been adjusted. It is back in the game. I know some people be disappointed about that, but adrenaline has been adjusted. Adrenaline boosts are back, but have been redesigned to make both offense and defense more engaging at the same time. And offense boosts are no longer lost when pulling off dribble combos or moving short distances, giving elite ball handlers much more freedom to create off the bounce. Now, this is really big right here because I know a lot of dribblers were complaining that every time they made a move or every time they tried to make a burst that they were losing adrenaline. It just made the gameplay a lot slower, and it didn't encourage much freedom when they dribble them. But boosts will disappear every time the on-ball defender can get a bump on the ball handler on a drive attempt. So if they're getting a bump on the ball handler but it's just standing still, it will not decrease your adrenaline. But if you're trying to drive to the rim and you're bumping into somebody, you will lose adrenaline. All right, now onto shot timing. Shot timing will be green or miss in the rec or the city. But on team control modes like quick play, my NBA, or my team, you'll see more forgiving shot timing. So this is really good for the players that just want to hop on, don't want to learn everybody's jump shot. But at the same time, it helps out the competitive players in the rec or the city. I said this once before, but I'll say it again. 2K will never go back from green or miss. Once they already did it once, they will never go back. It's too late for them to go back. If they go back now, it's just going to be a big uproar in the community that people are making white. So green or miss will be in the game for the next few years at least. We also got some news about Takeover, but I'm going to let Mike Wang tell you about that.
Takeover returns to NBA 2K24, but with a different spin. Instead of assigning a Takeover ability as part of the build process, now you can choose a category of attributes to boost on the fly. When you fill up the Takeover meter, you can choose between finishing, shooting, playmaking, defense rebounding, or physicals. If you delay your Takeover and fill up double Takeover, you can choose two different categories of ratings to boost, making you a true threat on both ends of the floor.
So yeah, now you'll be actually able to choose your Takeover on the fly, which that is really big. Say if you need to stop, it's 19-19, need to stop, you can pop your defensive Takeover. Or if it's 19-19 and you need a bucket, maybe you pop that shooting Takeover or finishing Takeover. This is going to be really good. It's going to add a lot of intensity to the game. You know, you're not expecting somebody to pull off a Takeover and then boom, now they got that finishing Takeover, the shooting Takeover. There's even a Takeover for physicals, which makes me think that they're going to try to make physicals matter more, but most of the time the only physicals that matter is speed, acceleration, and vertical, and stamina, of course. Now, dribbling has been completely reworked. Let's see what Mike Wang has to say about that.
Shooting has been customized and improved for all various modes, difficulties, and player skill levels. But in order to get high percentage shots, you need to know how to create separation off the dribble. One of my favorite elements in NBA 2K24 is the dribble breakdowns. Each player has two versions. Regular breakdowns are done by flicking up on the right analog stick, and aggressive breakdowns are done by flicking up with sprint held. This will initiate a sequence of signature size-up moves that you can use to create separation with on their own, or branch out of at any time for an explosive drive or other dribble move combo. This year features all new signature double crosses, hezi crosses, and escape moves. Another major addition is the blowout dribble. Tapping the sprint trigger while moving will give you a quick burst of speed where the ball handler pushes the ball ahead to get out quickly on the break. In the front court, tapping sprint will give you a quick change of pace to quickly blow by defenders. Adrenaline boosts are back, but have been redesigned to make both offense and defense more skill-based. On offense, boosts are no longer lost when pulling off dribble combos or moving short distances. This gives dribblers much more freedom to create off the bounce. But boosts will disappear every time the on-ball defender can bump the ball handler on a drive attempt. Losing adrenaline won't feel like moving in mud like last year, but it will heavily impact shooting attributes. So if a good defender can bump the dribbler 2 or 3 times in a single possession, they'll have a really tough time scoring if they do manage to get free. Creating your own shot off the dribble isn't the only way to get good shots. Knowing how to operate away from the ball is just as important. NBA 2K24 features new right analog stick jukes and other quick explosive moves to free yourself up for a shot. Tapping the sprint trigger will also give you a huge burst of speed to find open spots on the floor for spot-up jumpers or easy rim runs for dunks.
Yeah, so from what I gotten from this is that it is basically the same as it's been in the past. We have signature size up and you can boost out of them, but now it'll just be more realistic moves. Also, they have a new feature where you can tap the right trigger and it makes you like burst, slow the ball out in front. It's gonna be really useful on fast breaks. Now, when it comes to finishing around the rim, we have layup timing is now on by default and has been redesigned to give much more forgiving for easier finishes at the rim, while also rewarding players who master it, with the ability to finish tough circus layups in traffic. Now, we're gonna see how people feel about that. I just feel like it's gonna be really cheesy. Like for instance, this year, anytime you hit an acrobatic layup, it was going in. It was really bad this year. Also, another thing for the slashers, for dunkers on new gen consoles, you can now force controllable rim hangs, something that we had last year, but it is now green or mist for meter dunks, which is very, very big because last year you could get a contact dunk and you could late it and it would still go in. Next we got paint play. Bigs are going to have a lot more fun dominating the paint in NBA 2K24. You can now branch out of any offensive rebound and putback attempt simply by pressing shoot button after the catch. Post phase and hop shots are now really effective as well, which I don't know how I feel about that because they were already effective before. Strength and weight can definitely be felt in the paint as high-rated glass cleaners easily grab boards over smaller players and finish those easy second points. And yeah, here's just a list of the things that we got new animations for: jump shot, dunks, layups, dribble moves, pass animations, signature movement. So it's looking like we got a complete overhaul in the animation, something that we haven't had for a long time. And here's just a side-by-side to show off pro play with Kevin Durant in real life and Kevin Durant in the game. Yeah, I'm not gonna lie, that looks really, really realistic. I just hope it doesn't give me NBA Live vibes where we're getting forced into animations that just you can't really do nothing about once you're in animation. But overall, the game is looking a lot more smooth on the offensive end. We also got a whole new section for defense. I'm gonna let Mike Wang talk about that.
Defensive movement has improved on many fronts, with better responsiveness and less sliding. This helps defenders get where they need to be, and with the improved body-up system, ball handlers will have a tough time getting free against great defenders. The improved contact can also be felt in the paint. Big defensive anchors will have a much easier time putting a body on shooters at the rim and forcing tough shots. Directional steals are also back. You need to reach with the correct hand closest to the ball and avoid reaching across the body to maximize success and avoid foul calls. You can also use directional steals to play passing lanes by flicking the right stick in the correct direction to get your hand in the way and deflect the pass. And when it comes to contesting shots, it's important to be patient and wait for the correct time to jump. If you're behind the shooter, jumping too early, biting on fakes, or closing out late, you'll quickly find yourself racking up fouls and giving up and-one opportunities.
Yes, so now we have directional steals being back, which means that whenever you flick the stick at the side the ball hand is on, you're way more likely to get a steal, which for me as a lock, I love it. Some people might hate it, but it adds some skill base to getting steals. It's also adds skill to the passing lane steals because you have to do it in the passing lanes as well. Yeah, so that's just about everything as far as gameplay goes, man. Let me know what y'all think in the comments. I think 2K24 is going to be a solid year so far, man. It's looking really good. I'm going to catch y'all next time, man. Peace.